Good morning. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to go over what we talked about in today's Zoom meeting. Here's our agenda. We're going to do a little welcome, then attendance check-in. We're going to talk about how that works. We will go over our virtual syllabus, expectations for virtual learning, and then do a little overview of Google Classroom and turn in. And then if you were in class, we would do questions. All right, so first off, we're going to look at how you do check-in every single day. So we go to Classroom, and what you're going to see at the top of your stream is always going to be this. It's got a Google form, and you find your class periods. If it's first, second, third, fourth, it's okay. If you click the wrong one, you can click the right one. It's okay. But you click on that form. You see that's first block. Okay, cool. You are first block. I'm going to pretend I'm Devin. I would click on my name and then I would hit submit. And that is your attendance for that day. So you need to make sure that every single day you're logging on and hitting that attendance button. Oop, wrong one. Sorry, y'all. All right, now we're going to move to our virtual syllabus. I did not read this all the way through because I know that y'all are high schoolers. You don't necessarily need to be read to, but I do want to hit some high points. All right, so first of all, this is your table of contents. You can click on any of these buttons and it'll take you right to it. Home. Cool. All right, so we're going to start with course description. So obviously we are in English class. The main things we worry about in English are reading, speaking's hard, reading, writing, and speaking. Huh, funny, that's the one of our standards, speaking. All right, so reading, writing, and speaking are big things that we're going to work on in this class. So that is what we will focus on. We have 3 units we're going to do this semester. 1 is American Voices, 2 is Literature of the Civil Rights Movement, and then we have Star-Crossed Lovers, which is the Romeo and Juliet unit. I know y'all are super excited about that one. I'm not going to go into detail about these because we will be starting them soon, and you will just learn sort of about these units as we go. All right, so grading policies, what we're all wondering about. This right here is the standard grading policy for Meridian High School. Tests are 10%, classwork is 30, homework is 10. I want y'all to be sure you understand sort of this paragraph right here. Oh, I don't know how to use Google Slides. It's fine. All right, so I want you to make sure you understand that right there. Even if you have all A's on your tests, if you don't do your homework, your grades will not improve. I've had students last semester that had all hundreds on their classwork, and because they weren't doing their homework, they couldn't get that A. And that's really frustrating. So make sure you do homework. I don't give a lot of homework, but when I do, it needs to be done or it will pull your grade down. All right, this slide is literally just going to give you a little information about tests, classwork, and homework. So what are those things and how they're graded? So y'all can read that. Okay, makeup work. This right here is not entirely applicable until we are actually in the classroom, but I will go over it anyway. If you are absent and you miss work, you are going to turn it into Google Classroom or Canvas, as the slide said, because eventually we will be moving to Canvas. But right now, you will turn that work in, your work you missed when you were absent. You will turn that into Google Classroom. It's just that simple. Google Classroom is your best friend this year, or Canvas. Google Classroom or Canvas, whichever one we're using at the time. All right, so let's talk about late work. With a test, if you are late, if you realize that your essay is due tomorrow and it is not at all finished, you can turn it in the next day, but you will lose 5 points. So you will lose 5 points for every day that it's late. Deadlines are really important because in life, you have deadlines. It's just a real thing. So you've got to make sure that you are following those deadlines. Homework is the same way, except for you lose 10 points every day. And I did 10 points for homework because homework is typically, I will assign homework to prepare you for the next day. So if you miss homework, then you are not prepared for the next day. So that's why it's a little bit higher for homework. All right, now let's talk about classwork a little bit because I do not accept late work for classwork for this reason. When we get in the classroom, I use classwork for, well, it's just participation. So if you are participating, if you are doing what you need to in class, then you will get the grade. If you aren't doing what you need to in class, and you goof off or you play on your phone or you do this or that, then I don't think you deserve that participation grade. So it's not fair to your friend that was working very hard all class period if you are not. So we do not accept classwork late. I'm sorry, but that's just how it has to be. All right, classroom rules and expectations. I am not going to go over that right now for the simple fact that this is for the classroom. It is a very specific set of rules and consequences for the classroom and like the cell phone policy. Obviously, I can't ban you from using a cell phone online because you might have to use the cell phone for whatever reason to do your Zooms. All right, positive behaviors and consequences, yet again, that is for when we are in the classroom. So we're going to skip that for now, and we will come back to that if and when we come back to school. All right, so expectations for virtual learning. These are really important. You are going to be prepared and on time. You need to be here, you need to be prepared. I can't help you learn if you're not in class. So that's just the brass tacks of it. All right, mute yourself while others are speaking. There is a weird feedback in Zoom if there are a whole bunch of microphones on and someone is trying to speak. So mute yourself no matter who is speaking. All right, every time you are on Zoom, your camera needs to be on and you need to be tracking the speaker. So I need to be able to see your eyes on the speaker on the screen, or I need to be able to tell you are writing something, or I need to be able to tell you are engaged in learning. All right. Finally, participate in all classroom discussions and activities. So I do not love sitting and talking to myself. That is not fun. So I do this job because I love working with students and talking to students. So I need y'all to participate in these activities and discussions so I am not feeling so lonely. All right, I'm sorry, I started joking. All right, so that is the end of the virtual syllabus. Let's move into Meridian High School's expectations for digital learning. These have been designed by the school, so everybody in the whole school has these same rules. All right, so number 1, the school wants you to do your best to establish a workspace at home. Somewhere you can put your Chromebook, your notebook that is quiet without distractions. Now, if you can't do that for whatever reason, it's fine, but that's just something that we are wanting you to have so you can learn best. All right. Seek help when needed. This is such a big one, especially since we're not in the classroom. I cannot read your expressions. I cannot know that everything is okay or not okay. So you have got to speak up and tell me if you're having a problem, or talk to a counselor, or talk to one of the principals. That is paramount. That is so important. All right, sign into classes daily. This is really important, and you're going to see our class schedule in a few minutes, and this will make more sense. But just because we are not live does not mean we are not in class. I will be talking to you, talking to parents, talking to checking emails, and y'all should be engaging in the assignments that are put on Google Classroom at all times. So sign into classes and stay connected to what is going on. All right, so turn things in on time. I'm not going to read that whole long sentence, but turn things on in time. Turn things in on time. All right. Have learning materials ready before class time. That just goes back to being prepared. Follow the code of conduct. It hasn't changed since you were in kindergarten. Not really. So, not going to go into it. Expectations for virtual interaction with students and staff are the same as traditional instruction. So, if we are sitting in a Zoom meeting, the expectations of how you and I act are not any different than the expectation was when we were in class. We are supposed to act the same way. All right, be respectful. I'm not going to read that whole long thing, but I will say be respectful because that's the summary. Wear attire acceptable for school. So I don't have to paint you a picture of what unacceptable attire for school is. Wear appropriate clothing. Be ready. This is a professional environment where we are teaching and learning together. So just be ready for that. All right, and this is for me the most important one. Be patient with yourself and your teachers because we are all learning together. I have already had students reach out to me and say, Miss Withers, this doesn't work. Miss Withers, that doesn't work. And that is not frustrating to me. Well, let me correct myself and not be untruthful. That is frustrating to me because the technology is not working. It is not frustrating to me that you are reaching out. So it is okay if you see a problem, please let me know and be patient with me because I am learning the system too. All right, so we are going to keep trekking because that's pretty much all. All right, we did that. Google Classroom and turn in. With Google Classroom and turning things in, you have got to turn things in. And if I could show you how, I would, but I can't because I do not have a student account on Google Classroom. But I have posted a video on how to turn things in on Google Classroom, so you have that available to you. And understand that sharing something does not count as turning it in. If you simply share something with me, I will not see it because I am getting hundreds of emails a day, and while I try to read them all, things get lost. So I need you to turn it in. That is the only way it counts. All right. Finally, last thing I want to do is I want to talk about the schedule. Monday and Wednesday, we will be going live during your class period. So we will be having a lesson, we will be doing discussion, we'll be doing activities. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you will be doing independent study, which that will be reading a text, answering the questions, doing a graphic organizer, all of those independent activities. And at the same time, there will be small groups going on. So Monday morning, y'all will be assigned to groups. In those groups, you will have a set meeting time, which I will add to the schedule once we have groups. And you'll know, okay, so I am in group A. I will meet with Miss Withers on Zoom at Tuesday on Tuesday at 8:30 because I'm Group A, and that is never going to change. So that is our schedule. That is all I have to say to you today, and that's all we talked about in our Zoom this morning. If you have any questions for me, my email, I'm going to type it right here because I've got it open. My email is hwithers@mpsdconnect.org. So if you need any help, please do not hesitate to send me an email. All right, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.